Hello, crafty peeps. Welcome back to my channel, Crafty-ish-kristyn. Today, we are going to have ourselves a little WIP&chattyrant. What is a WIP&chattyrant? You may be asking yourself. WIP, W-I-P, stands for work in progress, and a chattyrant is me chatting and ranting about the past week or so. My current WIP is Spooky Slumber Party, and this is by Purple Kitten Studios, and the kit is made from Enablers Outpost. This is my first kit from Enablers Outpost, and I am loving it. I've already said that, but I'm going to say it again. The rendering is so good. There's been no unnecessary confetti. It's been a dream, honestly. I mean, look at that shine. There are, I think there's 7 fairy dust drills in here. They are so pretty. Like right here. This purple is just, oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I'm so grateful that it has fairy dust and not ABs. Because me and ABs are not getting along right now. So fairy dust, I will take it. So that is what I will be working on. Excuse me. I have my mini pen from Jim's Handmade Pens. On Etsy, I have Blue Alien Putty in my pen. I don't need an AB pen. Yay. I've got some pink tweezers. I have my Flawa Designs tray. All the supplies will be listed in the description box. I have my Bees Crafty Corner release papers. I have some Halloween-y ones. I have Mushmallow over at Dark and Creepy Diamond Painting, one of her scary face ones over here, and the adorable Pippy Halloween costume ones as well, and then some murder ones as well. Yeah, so there is that. If you have not gotten your Halloween Pippy stickers, there is a Google Doc, a Google form, whatever you want to call it, in the description box. I am about 2 weeks behind on stickers, so if you filled one out in the last 2 weeks, I have not mailed them yet, so don't worry. I do have some left, but once they are gone, and I will not be getting Pippy stickers for the rest of the year, because I need a little break. You know, mailing stuff around the holidays, no. So there is that. Before I zoom in, I do have a ginormous box that has been sitting here for almost a week. And this, I'm gonna move it in, is from Kim. Thank you, Kim. You didn't need to send something else. And Duncan has been very impatiently waiting for this box. He is sitting, you can't see him, but he is sitting right here. And I know he is going to claim this box as his own because he claims every box as his own. So, ooh, don't hurt yourself. Can't promise I won't, but I'm gonna try. So, let me move my creamy coconut Dr. Pepper. Okay. Oh, he's ready. Look at him. Oh, he's helping. Oh, what a nice little helper. Watch out, buddy. You gotta move. You gotta move. There we go. He is itching. Oh my goodness, what is this? She says, "Hi, Kristen, I'll set up for you." Because I can't label them. Washi tape on the lids in case that is where you want to put your label. Washi tape around the lids to keep the lids nice and secure, but they easily come off to put drills in the container. And washi tape on the front of the containers in case that's where you like to put your labels. Oh my gosh, okay. And this is a picture of her setup. Amazing. Wow, wow, wow. That is impressive. So, oh my gosh. Thank you. Ugh. And like a little toolbox with, look at them, and they're pink. And we got some of the Scotch washi. I have never actually used the Scotch brand washi, so I'm excited to try that. Oh my gosh, that was so sweet, Kim. You did not have to do that. Duncan, okay, you're making a mess. Oh my gosh, look at this. Okay, so it's a, nope, I gotta move the box. Oh, it's like a little thingy-mabobber. I can't think of the word. Oh, here, let's turn it the other way. So a supply and stamp stadium. Oh, you could use it both ways. You could use it like this, potentially, maybe. Or like this is probably the safer way so stuff doesn't fall out. And then, okay, let me see. So then you would, look at that. And they fit nicely and they're all cute and already wrapped in pink washi tape. Oh my gosh. And here I have nothing to kit up. Oh, I might have to change that. Thank you. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Okay, I'm trying to slide it off so I can. Wow. And I think that'll fit in my IKEA rolly cart too. I actually think it will fit in there. And then, oh my gosh, wait. But wait, there's more. Oh my gosh, and look. She did a whole set with yellow and, oh dear, I got both cats up here now. Now we're in trouble. Yellow and pink. Oh, thank you so much. That's so, so sweet. I cannot wait. Uh-oh, Sharky's in the box now. Honestly, the cats have been eyeing this box for almost a week at this point, and they're like, thank you. So it's a 3-in-1 gift. So thank you again so much, Kim. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to try this out. Oh my gosh, move out of the way. I'm going to clean up my mess and get my cats off of the table and out of the boxes, and we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, let me get a color and we will get started. Before I forget, I hope all of you are doing amazing and well, and if you are not doing amazing and well, I hope it gets better. Because, you know, it's easy. It's very, very easy, and I am talking about myself, to focus on all the, you know, downfalls or the negative things that happen. I am very, very bad at trying to focus on the positive. So I need to be reminded of that, you know, it's not as bad as you think it is, but it's easier said than done. I put my box on the floor, and Sharky got in the box, and Duncan is just glaring at him because he assumes that every box that comes into this house is his. That'll be interesting later. You may hear a little scuffle. Yep. Never mind the fact the box is big enough to fit both of the cats. No, they don't share things like that very well. It's all or nothing. All or nothing. So let me see. Diamond painting updates. I did not buy anything last week that I can remember. Pretty sure I didn't. And I made some progress on this one. And that's basically it. I did not have a ton time to diamond paint for several reasons, which we will get into. But I was good and I didn't buy anything that I can remember. I really don't think I did. But there may be something that I just blacked out on. I don't know. Let's see, what else? Oh, okay. I'm gonna post this in the description box. But Marissa over at Diamonds and Thoughts is working with House of Miscellania. I wrote that down. And they have a little survey that they've created, and it's for viewers and creators as well. And it was very, very interesting. Some kind of a deeper questions about, you know, the content you like to watch. You know, what do you look for? What, you know, what don't you like, etc., etc. So I highly recommend going and checking that out. I filled it out, and I cannot wait to see what the results are. It is anonymous, so, you know, it's not going to take your name, and they're not going to, you know, say, you know, Betty in New Jersey said that she doesn't like it when people do this. No, 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 no. I promise. Nothing like that will happen. And then What else? Something was in my brain and it just left my brain super fast. I don't. Oh my gosh, that's bad. That is not a good sign for the day. Oh, and then I'm going to also link in the box, in the boxy box. Mushy, a dark and creepy diamond painting, did a video about small shops. And she had some very good points. So I highly recommend you to check that out as well. Just some, like good experiences and maybe some, not so good experiences. And, maybe we can open a discussion about, as a buyer, what kind of things do you appreciate from a small shop? What kind of things do you not appreciate from a small shop? One of the things she said was about customer service and how customer service can make or break a shop. And I full-heartedly agree with that. We had some customer service this weekend at a restaurant, and I can honestly say I will never go back to that restaurant just based on that alone. So yeah, definitely go check it out. On Thursday, I think it was Thursday, I don't even know. I lost all track of what day it was last week. We lost our power about 2:30 in the morning. And it was kind of weird because it was not raining. It was not windy. It was not stormy. But we lost our power. And it came back on maybe 20 minutes later. And then it went off again. And I'm like, all right, this is going to make, the morning interesting. But we looked on the little app and the website. Our power company has, a website where you can report an outage, or you can kind of, track your outage, right? Kind of like tracking your pizza, but you're tracking your power outage. Well, our power outage was not showing up on their map. And, couldn't quite figure out if that was a good thing or a bad thing. Like, maybe it's just so small of an outage that, maybe it's not showing up, or maybe they're already on the scene and they're taking care of it, so it's not going to show up. Well, 6 a.m. rolls around, and it's time to start rousing the troops to get ready for school. When you don't have power, it makes it a little bit more difficult, so we were pulling out the flashlights and the tap lights and all the extra lights to try to make it a little less painful. The most painful part, in my opinion, was the factor that I could not have coffee. And, we have a generator, but we probably need to, test it and do some other things to it because it's been a while since we used it. But we were under the assumption that since there weren't really any outages on the outage map, that it wouldn't be that long, So we're like, yeah, it's fine, just, wait and see. Well, you can't really make a lot of breakfast items without power. So protein bars and bananas it was. No coffee for me. Sad. And got people off to school. My husband had a dentist appointment. So after I dropped people off at school, I stopped at the local coffee place because I needed coffee. And, my mom lives with us, if you're new. And I knew she would need coffee because she drinks coffee all day long. So I figured I would stop at the coffee place and get us coffee. And I asked my husband if he wanted something. And he's a black coffee kind of person. And the thought of paying, I don't even know how much a black coffee would have cost. No. He would rather just chew on coffee grounds than pay that much for a cup of coffee. So I said, okay, well, I pull up to this drive-through coffee, and it's maybe a quarter of a mile from our house, and they have power. I was a little pissy about that, but it's okay. Just a little jealous. And so I pull up, and I'm sitting there, kind of trying to read the menu, because I've never really been to this place. We don't really do I almost said drive out. I was going to say takeout coffee and drive-through coffee, but we don't really go to a lot of coffee shops just because it's expensive, and we have coffee makers at home. And, you know, my mom really likes like really, really sweet and, you know, sugary coffee. So she just uses coffee creamer. And I've been actually using protein, like, you know, like Costco, like Premier Protein or something, you know, pre-made protein drinks in my coffee to help give me a little protein and give it a little flavor, because it's just sad if it's not flavored, in my opinion. And so I pull up and I'm trying to figure out, okay, I know I need a mocha because I need the chocolate in it. And they don't really have a list of flavors, you know, of syrups and whatnot. And they don't really have a list of, you know, like, oh, are there special, you know, flavors or whatever. So I pull up, and I also notice, and I don't know if this is just a thing now, where people just don't show you the prices of things. This is the second coffee shop I've been to where I can't see any actual prices, and then it scares me. So I pull up, and, you know, I'm like, I need, you know, like I figured I'd go 12 ounces because it's probably going to be expensive. And it was. And so I got myself a mocha, and the girl's like, okay. And I was like, you know, what kind of flavors do you have? Flavors of what? I'm like, flavors of syrup? Flavors of fun? You know, I mean, I could see all these bottles behind her. And I'm like, the bottles behind you? Oh, yeah. I'm like, I cannot be the only person who asked for a flavored coffee. So she told me a few, and I picked one that I knew my mom would like. I knew she'd like a raspberry mocha, and I got myself a mocha with peppermint in it. And I got almond milk, and then she's like, almond milk? And I was like, yes, almond milk, you know, and I'm trying to be patient because, you know, not trying to be rude, but I haven't had coffee, and I'm dealing with things, and my brain's, you know, already going, okay, how much is this power outage going to screw me over today? So she finally figured it out. And, you know, it was almost like 12 or $13 for two 12-ounce coffees. I'm just like, ugh, gross. I mean, I could buy a whole bag of coffee for that price, but I was desperate, and I did it. And so my husband, he had just gotten done at the dentist, and he said, I'm going to get myself a coffee from McDonald's because he can do the black coffee there. And he's like, do you guys want a breakfast sandwich? And I said, yes. Oh my gosh, yes. So yeah, that was an expensive morning just for, he got a coffee, and then I think he got like a breakfast sandwich meal, which comes with the coffee and a hash brown, and then just two breakfast sandwiches. It was like $19. And the coffees were, you know, $12, $13. And of course, you know, they want a tip. And I'm like, dang, dude, all that just for, you know, the power being out. You know, so we're sitting there, and it was actually kind of cold that morning, and still not listing the power outage on the outage map. And we both reported it. And so I figured, you know what, I'm just going to call. I call, you know, you have to go through all the hoops, and are you sure you don't want to go onto our website? And like, no, I need to actually talk to a human being because your website isn't showing my power outage. So I talked to a human, and he said, yeah, I've had a lot of people in your area call. And I said, well, that's because it's not on the power outage map, and we're all kind of probably concerned because we want our power to come back on. And he's like, oh, no worries there. You know, they've already identified what caused the outage, and, you know, apparently it was a tree got uprooted, and it fell over on the power line. He said, but they're working on it, and, you know, the map should update within an hour, and you should see it on there. And I said, okay. Yeah, it never did update. It never showed on the map. So it was just kind of I had a bunch of stuff to do, but a lot of that stuff required electricity, you know, as most things do nowadays, it seems. And I'm one of those people that when the power's out, I will walk into a room like the bathroom, and I will instantly try to turn the light on, even though I know that there's no power. You know, it's the habit. And then I was thinking, oh, I should get some water. So naturally I go to the fridge and push on the button, and, you know, it doesn't work because there's no power. I'm like, oh yeah. And then I kind of realized that I should have showered the night before because I was going to shower, and then I thought, no, I have some time in the morning. I'll shower before I have to do all the stuff that I need to do. Yeah, well, I didn't want to use up all the hot water just in case the power was out for longer than we anticipated. And I didn't really want to not dry my hair because it would look a little interesting. But I really should have showered because I was supposed to take my son and one of his friends to this local pumpkin patch later to surprise one of their other friends because it was her birthday. So I'm playing chicken with the clock, right? I'm watching the clock and I'm going, okay, if the power comes on by X time, I could still shower and do all this. And nope, it did not come on before I had to leave. So I left the house, and it was, my hair was looking a little rough, not gonna lie. Put on a hat, and I get to school. I'm sitting there in the parking lot, and my mom calls, and she says, the power's back on. And I said, well, that's awesome. That is so great. I'm so glad. And she said, I'm already making coffee. And I said, I know you are. I bet you probably started to make that coffee before you called me to tell me the power was back on. And she did, which is okay. So I pick up the kid, and first of all, letting kids plan things is a mess. You know, they obviously need to learn how to do it, but for my overschedule control freak needs, no. And the people that were bringing other kids, I don't have any of these adults' information or their phone numbers or anything. So I'm just kind of flying blind. You know, are you sure that it's okay that you're going? Yeah, it's fine. Like, are you sure that it's okay though? Okay, there are some trash drills in here. Oh my goodness, look at that. So I'm just sitting there going, for all I know, they could have gotten the wrong information and we're going to the wrong pumpkin patch. But we did go to the right one. So I picked them up. They said, well, we don't have to be there till X time. And I was like, well, then we're stopping by the house, and I'm going to at least put some dry shampoo in my hair and try to make it not look like it does. So we get there. I, get my hair wet, get a little dry shampoo, and Mom, we have to go. They're leaving the house. We have to go. We have to beat them to the pumpkin patch. I'm like, it is not my problem right now. I'm sorry. But you could have told me that before I started doing this. So no, we got there plenty of time. They wanted to go and hide in the pumpkin patch. And then the friends who are bringing the other friend who didn't know that they were going to be there were going to lead her in. And yeah, it was a mess. I was informed that I could drop them off at this pumpkin patch that's 20 minutes away from our house. And then I could just come back and pick them up when they were done. And I said, well, how long are you guys going to be there? Oh, maybe like an hour or so. So you want me to drive for 20 minutes to the pumpkin patch, drop you off, drive 20 minutes home. Well, it would be more because it was 4:30. So probably 25 minutes-ish. And then I have to come back in an hour, which means I pretty much would have to just turn around and come back home or go back to the pumpkin patch. I'm like, I'll just wait in my car. Well, are you sure? And I'm like, I would rather wait in my car and, read a book, surf the internet, etc., than drive through crazy traffic to go home for 5 minutes. Yeah, I'd rather sit in my car. They all surprised the friend. She was kind of surprised, but they're all horrible at keeping secrets, so it's not really a surprise. And they went into the corn maze, and some of them got separated, which is honestly my worst nightmare with the corn maze. I would not want to be in the corn maze alone. Nope. I'm good. And then, you know, I'm looking at my watch and I'm going, okay, it's almost 6 o'clock. And the only thing that I have eaten is my expensive coffee and the breakfast sandwich. Because they were going to maybe go get food, right? Maybe, because again, you're letting teenagers plan. So it was almost 6 and I texted and I said, what's the plan with the food? Are you going? Are you not going? Because I'm driving him and his friend, obviously. And he said, oh yeah, no, yeah, we're going to go. We're going to go to Olive Garden. I'm like, okay. Well, the Olive Garden they want to go to is, you know, not down the street. It's, you know, probably 15, 20 minutes on the freeway. I'm like, okay, well then maybe we should go. And he's like, yeah, the girls already left. So we'll meet them there. I'm like, and these other parents who were involved, they know that you guys are coming. I think so. Like, oh my God. Like, could you call and ask somebody just to make sure that you're not just, you know, showing up and crashing? You know, I mean, I'm sure that a lot of people wouldn't care, but, you know, I don't know. So apparently it was fine. So all the teenagers had their own table at Olive Garden, and I was allowed to come into the restaurant. Isn't that nice of him to let me come into the restaurant? And he goes, you're not going to sit with us, are you? And I said, trust me, I don't want to sit with you guys. I said, well, you know, who else's parent is here? And he named one of the kids, and I said, okay, well, where are they sitting? I don't know. And I'm like, I will figure it out. So all the kids were sitting in the restaurant part, and they told me that, you know, one of the parents was sitting in the bar, and I was like, I will just go sit in the bar and I will order something. And I don't know this parent, you know, which is fine. I'm not afraid of strangers. So I walk in and, you know, I said, you know, I'm, you know, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, you can come sit down. It's fine. She goes, yeah, she goes, I'd love company. She's like, as long as I'm not related to him. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes. And so we had a nice little chat, and kids were doing their thing, and it was good. I was a little jealous though, because she had a very fruity looking adult beverage. I don't know if it was or not. It looked like it was maybe like a mojito or something that looked a little strawberry-ish with maybe like some mint or some green leaves in it. I would have loved to have a mixed drink, but because I don't drink very often, I was concerned that I would not be able to drive home safely. So I refrained because I'm responsible, but it looked very tasty. So I drove friend home, and I don't really know the area that this friend lives in super well. And it's raining, it's dark, and I'm going to an area I don't really know, and it's like I think it was more like a townhome. It wasn't apartments. I think it was like townhomes and condos. You know, and there's a locked gate, and I'm going down these like little narrow alleyways, and it's the very, very last house at the very, very back corner. I'm like, okay, cool. And I pull up, and my first thought is, how the hell am I supposed to turn around? Because there's not enough room to turn around. And I was like, oh dear, okay. So I let friend out, made sure, you know, he got out and went inside okay and all that jazz. And I'm like looking, and you know, like there's a scene from Austin Powers where he does like the 5 or 6, 7, 8 point turn. I could have tried to do that, but I didn't know if I actually would have enough room. And I have an SUV, so it's not like a little, you know, smart car trying to do it. No. So I'm backing up. There's like gunk on my backup camera, and so I'm trying to see through all these bright street, you know, not street lights, but like house lights, and the rain, and sitting there going, oh, please don't let somebody walk out and walk behind my car. So I finally got to a place where I could kind of back up and turn and go into like a different little street and then back up, go. It was, I mean, if you were watching from your window, you would have just laughed because it looked so stupid, but I couldn't do anything else. That was it. And so we're driving home and I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm done. I'm mentally done with today. Because it's close to 9 o'clock. I don't want to be out of my house at 9 o'clock. That is just, no. That's a no. I should be in my pajamas at home, diamond painting by that time of night. But, you know, I love my children. I will do things for my children. That's what we do, right? But then he had to shower when we got home. Because, you know, you got to shower every day when you're a teenager. So he showers and then he gets a bloody nose after he gets out of the shower. So he's freaking out about that. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So like, we just need to go to bed now. And then he woke up in the morning and he's like, I don't feel good. My throat hurts. I'm like, oh man. You know, we were doing so good. I think we had maybe 2 weeks in a row of not missing any school. Yeah, I know. Oh, had a no school the next day. Which actually kind of worked out because my daughter had half days this week and because of conferences. And so on Friday, I got her from school and then I went and took her to get a haircut because it had been a while. It had been since right before school started. And she's been saying she wants to cut it to her shoulders. And, you know, I'm all for letting kids do what they want to do with their hair. But I was more concerned that, you know, sometimes when you have shorter hair, you actually have to style it. And she does not want to style. She brushes and it just tangles instantly. So we went to this local kids place that we go to. And the stylist had kind of shoulder length bob. And she said, I want my hair like that. And first I thought she was saying that because the stylist's hair was kind of a turquoise green color. And she really wants colored hair. The problem is she's got brown hair, so you would have to bleach the hair in order to make it colored. And I was like, I'm like, we cannot color your hair right now. She's like, no, the length. She goes, although I would take that hair color too. And I'm like, well, I can't afford that right now. I'm sorry. Because it's expensive to bleach your hair and then color it and like that. Oh my gosh. So she wanted the shoulder length and I was like, are you sure? Because, you know, once it's cut, it's cut. And she's like, yep, I'm sure. And so stylist was like, all right, let's do this. And I love when you go somewhere like a place where they work with kids and stuff. And, you know, sometimes people, they don't have a personality that works with yours, right? And that's okay. We all have different personalities. Not throwing shade at anybody. But I love when I go somewhere and the person has like a personality that meshes well with, you know, me or my kids or whoever. Love that. So it was an enjoyable haircutting experience for sure. So she got it chopped to the shoulders. So much hair on the ground. Oh my goodness. But she is in love, and actually it's been less tangly. So I am hoping, I just realized my release paper is not straight right there. Okay, I need to make sure. Hang on. Yeah, so it was great. It was great. I'm always nervous about people cutting my kids' hair because my son had a very traumatic experience I think it was last January or February. I cannot remember which one it was, but who doggies. He still has not let me get his hair cut since the traumatic head shaving when I said, you know, it was supposed to be left a little long and shaggy. Well, long and shaggy does not mean you pull out the dang clippers. So, but he did tell me, progress, that I was allowed to call my hairstylist. He said he would trust her because he likes her to cut his hair. Just a trim. He still wants it shaggy. And I said, okay. So I'm gonna take him up on that opportunity because it is looking ridiculous. The back is so long and like weirdly curly at the neck, and oof, no. And I said, I'm fine if you want to grow your hair out a little bit, but you still have to kind of keep it a little kempt. Look, kept? Is it kempt or kept? I don't know, but it needs to look a little bit under control, you know? So, yep. So then we went to the grocery store, and of course, my mom had told her that if you go to the grocery store, I'll buy you a stuffed animal. So naturally, we had to check out the 5 different areas that they have stuffed animals at the grocery store to find the perfect stuffed animal. And we did. Well, we did for, that day. So, yep. That was, yeah, it's just not how I wanted to spend my day with, people being sick. And then it's like, okay, if you're really as, sore throat as you say you are, but you're playing virtual reality and you're basically screaming with your friends, that doesn't make me feel very reassured that you're not feeling good. So he goes, well, I felt better. And I said, yeah, next time you wake up with a sore throat, you're going to school. I knew that if I sent him to school, I wouldn't be home if he needed to be picked up from school because of the sore throatage. And that's why I was like, you know what? It's fine. So, but when you stay home from school and you have classes that give homework and stuff, then you're playing catch up, and it is the last week of the quarter. So there was already a project in one class where you have to make a poster. There was a book report and an essay in another class. I said, you better be working on that crap this weekend, because you could get a big old load of homework from the day you missed. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay. Okay, conference. Okay. Okay. That was lots of excitement. And that was still the week. That wasn't even the weekend. I don't like that much excitement. Honestly, I would love to have kind of a boring, monotonous, schedule. But, that's just because that's what I want doesn't mean that's what everybody else wants. So this same friend that we surprised at the pumpkin patch, she had initially wanted all of the little friend group that they have, which he's got some amazing friends. I'm so grateful that everybody's, nice and supportive, and there's no real, I don't want to say it, man. Sometimes your friends have jackass friends. You know what I mean? Like, there's no getting around that. But in this little group, there's none of those. I'm very appreciative of that. So she wanted everyone to meet at Dave & Buster's and hang out and play video games, etc., etc. Again, no information, actual information given to me, right? So, like, okay, well, how long is this Dave & Buster's shenanigans going to be? I don't know. So we figured, my husband and I figured, because it was raining, that we would all go to the mall. And, my daughter would want to go to Dave & Buster's too, although she cannot play video games as long as he can. And then if she gets, kind of like, I'm done with this, we would go into the mall, kill some time, etc., etc., and then when everybody was done, then we would go home. Yeah, no, it's not how it worked out, because, again, if I would have had parental information, I would have known what, times, etc., but no. So we get there, and I didn't realize that this friend was buying everybody, gift cards for the, the Dave & Buster's. I was like, oh, that's really nice. You know, I was fully expecting to pony over, you know, $60, whatever. Or I don't know how much she put on each card, but still, for 6 friends, that's a lot of money. And so she, you know, gave all the kids cards and said, yeah, you know, if they want drinks or something, you know, sodas, not drinks, you know, I'll, you know, just get them, and, you know, I might order some food or something. It wasn't a case of like, we're going to order food, you know, like a meal and sit down. I was like, okay, great. You know, we're going to hang out and, you know, probably go to the mall and all that stuff. Well, it's almost 2 hours. And, well, it was sooner than that because after an hour, she was mentally done with that. And it's loud. It's so loud in there. You can't talk. You can't think. I mean, I don't blame her. And so we went to the mall, you know, told him, hey, we're going to the mall. And then we went back in, and they were just sitting down to have food. They were about to order food. And I'm like, oh, dang, okay. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to, like, take him away from his friends, but nobody told me they were having food. So we decided, well, I guess we'll go get some food in the mall, right? You know, because I was getting hungry. And that was a huge mistake. And here's where we get to the customer service portion of our WIP&chatyrant. We decided to go to a hamburger place in the mall. I don't know if there's this restaurant everywhere, but it's called Johnny Rockets, right? And I've been to a few different Johnny Rockets over the years, and it's kind of like the retro kind of 50s diner-ish, but this one's looking a little worse-for-ness, because it's pretty worn and dingy and beat up inside. And we had gone there a few years ago when we were at the outlet mall, and it was really expensive then, and we were like, I don't know if we would come back, but the food was good. And so we decided, well, you know what, none of the other food court stuff really looked good, so we'll go there. And we should have just left because we walk in, and the people who work there are all kind of standing behind the counter just chatting. You know, the people who were cooking the food, the wait staff, you know, everybody's just kind of hanging out. And it's like, okay, great, you know. But you're standing there for a few minutes and nobody's even looking over and making eye contact with you when there's people, you know, looking in all directions. And I'm like, okay. So finally, you know, I was like, hi, do we just sit? Or, you know, what do we do? Oh, do you want, you know, to go or to eat in the restaurant? And I'm like, I think we want to eat here. She's like, oh, okay. You know, just go sit wherever. I'm like, okay, great. And I couldn't really grab some menus or anything because there weren't any out. So we go and we sit down, and it is not a big place. And we're sitting there, and I figured, okay, well, you know what? Let's try to order as fast as possible, just in case they finish up the food and all that jazz at Dave & Buster's. So we can't even order something to drink because the lady, the waitress lady, she basically scurries over to our table and just kind of slides the menus onto the table, like, phew, and then already has her back to us and walking away. And I'm like, oh God. Again, we should have just left. So it's partially our own fault for thinking that it would get better. It did not. So we look at the menu, and it is, I mean, it's pretty bare bones, right? It's, you know, hamburgers, chili dogs, and there were 2 salads, I think. So my daughter got a kid's meal, and I nearly choked at the prices of the kids' meals because the kids' meals were $12.95. $12.95 for a kid's portion of food. And it comes with fries, you know, a kid's beverage, well, soda. And she's like, can I have a milkshake? I was like, I'm not paying for a milkshake. The milkshakes, like the regular size milkshakes, were like $12. I'm like, nah, don't think so. So she got a grilled cheese sandwich and fries for $12. Like, oh my God. You know, but I'm like, get what you want, you know, because all the kids, I think all the food items were $12. So there was like, I don't know if there were chicken nuggets, but there were hamburger, there was a hot dog, grilled cheese, maybe there was other things. $12. And I thought, okay, I'm just gonna get a hamburger, right? Cause I'm like, oh, okay, well the hamburgers, you know, 12 something. And then you kind of look closer and you realize that the hamburger is $12. Does not come with fries though. So if you want fries, a plate of fries is $6. And so my husband and I decided to share a plate of fries. Cause yeah, I was like, I don't need that many fries. So they brought us a plate of fries first. And he got like a double cheeseburger something or other. And that was like $18. So they brought the fries. And we're like, wow, these fries are hot. No, they were kind of. Some of the fries were hot. But then some of them were very, very cold. Almost like they weren't. I don't think they were raw, but I don't know if they were just sitting out and they put the hot fries on top to try to disguise the fact that all the fries weren't hot. It was really weird. It was so weird. And I mean, some of the fries were downright scalding and others were cold. We're like, okay, it's fine. You know, whatever. So we get the hamburgers and the $12 grilled cheese sandwich. Sorry, it was almost $13. So it was $12.95. We have really high sales tax. So really, it was probably like a $14 grilled cheese. And, you know, they bring the hamburgers and it looks sad because it's on this, you know, like this little tiny plate because there's no fries on the plate. It really did not look like it was worth the price you paid. And my husband picked up his burger and he goes, oh my gosh, this bun is greasy. Like it was really shiny. I don't know if they put butter all over the bun or maybe they dip it in the hamburger grease, but the the bun was greasy and the meat was like super, super drippy and greasy. I was like, oh my gosh, no. And all I could think was, oh man, I'm going to get a stomachache later from this. Yeah, so we ate our food. It was not worth the price. And so we're sitting there, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I want to go. Let's pay our bill. Well, the wait staff was not coming over to the table. Nobody came over to say like, hey, do you need some more napkins? Or do you need a refill on your soda, little girl? Or, you know, do you need more water or anything? No, they did nothing. And I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. Just, it felt the whole time like we were there, like we were an inconvenience. I mean, the fact that we wanted to order and I was looking over there and somebody finally saw me and made eye contact with me. And then kind of like she rolled her eyes and then she nudged someone else to come take our order. That doesn't make you feel very welcome, especially when, you know, your food is almost like $70 and it's not that good. And so we pay. Well, my husband paid because he's like, I'm effing done. I'm done. And I was like, do not use the credit card because I do not need the credit card to get frauded or something like that. I'm not in the mood. So he had cash and we actually had to go up to the counter and she goes, oh, we could have brought you your check. And I'm like, yeah, but you didn't. So we just want to go. And so they said, okay, it's blah, blah, blah. And he gave them some, you know, like, I don't know how many, like a few 20s or whatever. And he said, and my daughter and I had walked out by then because we were just like, we're done. And he said, the guy pulled out his wallet and gave my husband change back from his wallet. And then he got some actual change from his pocket. He's like, I've don't know if I've ever seen a restaurant, like a chain restaurant, where somebody does that. Maybe like a mom and pop, but I'm like, that's freaking weird. So, yeah. We will not be going back there. Probably ever again, because that was a mess. And I did actually go onto their website and I filled out a form, you know, like a little, how was your experience? And I'm like, horrible. Listing, you know, everything. It was just, if that was my business and that was the experience that people were having at my business, I would want to know. I mean, granted, I don't know. But yeah, no, it was a nope. It was a giant bag of nopes. So yeah. Let's see. I'm going to do number 5. Oh. So after that, right? We're like, okay, I bet they're done. I bet they're done eating, right? So I text the kid and I go, okay, what's the status? Are you about done eating? Well, we were going to go walk around the mall for a little bit. I was like, I'm done. I'm freaking done. So my husband's like, he's like, we'll just drive home. You and Sassy Lassie can go home and I will come back and get him. Like, okay. Because she was just, I mean, I could tell she was done mentally with being in the loud, busy mall. Well, and it's hard because, you know, you're in a mall, right? And you're going into all these stores and you want things. I mean, I get it. I feel it too. And so, you know, I'm trying not to give in to every last thing that people want. But I mean, no matter which store we go in, she's going to find something she wants. You know, she's my kid. She's going to want one of everything. So, yeah. So, we went home. He got to stay home for like maybe 10 minutes, and then he turned around and went back to the outlet mall. And he said, he goes, I'm fine going back by myself. I don't got you two with me, so I can sit in my car and watch TikTok. And, yeah. So, that is what he did. We came back. She got to watch something on her tablet. I got to do a little bit of diamond painting. Not a ton. But, spoiler alert, the Johnny Rockets made all of us feel sick. So, lame. And we did, and I thought, I'm really glad that I didn't try to do this, but I was under the impression that our church's trunk or treat was on Saturday. And because we were at the mall, we were going to miss the trunk or treat, but I figured it was okay since it was really rainy and gross and nasty and whatever. But it wasn't on Saturday. It was on Sunday. And so we went to church on Sunday. And they're talking about, don't forget the trunk or treat tonight. And I was all, huh? I thought we had missed it. So we didn't miss it. But it was still sprinkling. And I almost got out of going to the trunk or treat. My husband was just going to take her because teenager was working on papers and stuff like that. And I didn't really want to go, but I would go if, you know. And so I was under the impression that I did not have to go. But when I said that I wasn't going, she got a little upset. And I said, okay, I will go. So I put on my Care Bear costume. And I went to the trunk or treat in the rain. Like a good parent. And it was kind of blah, honestly. I mean, it's not that amazing, you know? Like, it's a trunk or treat. It's probably a little more magical for the younger kids than it is, you know, kids who were 9, going on 10. So, yeah, I don't know. We may not go next year. Maybe next year we'll try to decorate a trunk. Maybe. We'll see about that. So, yeah. But we did avoid the food trucks this year at the trunk or treat. Last year we gave in and Again, not worth the money for the food you get. So I was like, no, nope, 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 nope. We already overpaid for food yesterday and it made us not feel good. So no, thank you. So my whole thing was I was going to stay home while they went to the trunk or treat. And I was going to make sausage and bacon and get pancakes made and get, like scrambled eggs ready. And we were going to have like a big breakfast for dinner thing. And it was going to be, not stressful because I had lots of time to complete it in. But no, that was not the case. So we got home and naturally people are hungry. And I said, well, I'm not making the bacon. That takes too long. I don't got the brain power for bacon after the trunk or treat. And my costume was very stifling, I will say. So I was a little hot and cranky. So we did make just sausage and pancakes, and everybody lived. Nobody died from not having bacon or eggs or hash browns or whatever. But yeah, it was, oh my gosh, I just feel like we were going all weekend long, and it's like, nope. No downtime. So yeah, I did not get much diamond painting done, which is okay. Real life trumps, certain things. Totally get it. But I am excited to hopefully get to work on something I want to work on this week, maybe. We'll see about that, right? It is Halloween this week. My goodness. And I don't fully know what's going on because, again, planning is not anybody's strong suit around me. So, yeah. Let's do... What are we going to do? Let me do a few ends, I think. And then we will probably call it good. I always forget to bring my little trash container, but that's okay. So November is right upon us. I cannot believe it. Cannot believe it. It's crazy. So I have for events, which, I don't I'm not participating for any kind of, trophy or, prizes or anything like that. It's more, camaraderie. So Diamond Painting with Jack is doing the Hello Kitty event. I have 2 canvases for that. And then I believe it is the Mystical Dream Diamonds has the Cocoa Mellow or Cocoa Marshmallow, the artist event. And that's my round painting. I'm going to wait until November to start on that one. I'm going to try to get this one as much done as I can. I might not get very far, but I have this row that I'm working on, and then probably 2 more rows that are this size. And I can't put my cute release papers on this last section because of the way I have to put it on my easel. It does not super fit awesome on my easel at the moment. 60 is about the widest I can do, I think. And it's pushing it. So I did half and then I flipped it. And so now this part, release paper part, is at the bottom. And it's not really rolling under itself very nicely, so it's kind of in the way. It's a mess, honestly. It's fine, but it's not the most graceful setup right now. And at least with these release papers, I can kind of roll them and fold them, and if they get damaged, I don't really care because I think they were maybe $100 on Amazon. It was like maybe $5 and it was 100, just plain white release papers. But I don't want to ruin my cute release papers. And I do know that Bee's Crafty Corner is doing an event. I don't have, my painting isn't really, I think it's wintry themed. I honestly don't really know. I don't have my winter painting yet. And I don't know if you have to do, I think you have to fill out a form and that kind of thing. I don't really know, but I don't like filling out forms. I just like to participate for fun. So if I do get my winter painting, you know, maybe I'll post some pictures or something, but I'm not trying to participate in any event, like, you know, in an official capacity. So there's that. So yeah, those two, and I don't want to overwhelm myself with trying to commit to a bunch of things and then crashing and burning. And I would like to try to get some of the Last Supper done in maybe November. That would be great. I don't think realistically I will finish that by the end of the year, but I don't know. Maybe I will. You never know. I might get a wild hair and decide that that's my new goal. But I try not to set too many goals, because once I kind of fail or drop the ball, then I kind of beat myself up about it. So I try not to just, if I get it done, I get it done. And if not, well, guess what? It ain't going anywhere, and it'll be here next year for me to work on. But not in January, because January is the black and pink event. So I kind of think I know what I'm working on, but maybe not. Things could change. I could see something that I absolutely need to have, and all my plans will go out the window. So that reminds me that Mushy and I need to probably get together and fully plan things. We've talked and discussed things, but to really nail down some of the details. There are this color, man, I can't see it, but there are a lot of ones in this color that have had really, really, really curvy butts. And not the good curvy butts, the paint in my diamond painting butt, curvy butt. So, all right, that is going, oh my gosh, I zoomed out a little bit on the first try, go me. That is where we are at, working on this little section right here. I am going to let you guys go. So if you have not, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing, hearting, farting, doing all the things. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, obviously. Hopefully I kept you company while you diamond painted, or, you know, maybe did something boring, driving, cleaning, whatever it may be. I hope it was a little bit more enjoyable hearing about my unfortunate events, but that's okay. Again, gotta try to focus on positive. So things could have been a lot worse this week. Yeah, you can take pity in my sufferings and, you know, laugh at my misfortunes. I'm totally fine with it. So I will see you guys again very, very soon. Big awkward hugs. Bye guys.